I just think people are running from issues, and I don't think in this business you're supposed to run from issues. And the fact that everybody's running from the big elephant in the room involving the WNBA and the latest with Coach Stephanie White of the IndianaFever going on a little tirade during a post-game press conference because people were accusing her of not supporting her player after Sophie Cunningham was essentially, knocked upside the damn head by Dejanay.
Expose it. Stephanie White's controversial emotional display and rant have backfired, as fans demand that she be fired. What happens when a head coach appears to go to war against her own fans? What happens when the highest levels of a professional sports organization seem disconnected from what is unfolding on the hardwood and continue pushing a controversial narrative? We may be finding out right now, and the fallout is massive. The IndianaFever organization is facing intense scrutiny, with head coach Stephanie White standing at the center of the storm. This is no longer just about basketball wins or losses. It has become a major public relations crisis, with a fan base that appears to have reached its breaking point. If you thought the tension in the WNBA couldn't escalate any further, brace yourself, because questions surrounding Stephanie White's press conference, her emotional reaction, and her comments about her own roster are now drawing serious attention. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's break down exactly what has sparked the latest controversy surrounding the IndianaFever. To understand the magnitude of the situation, we have to look at the incident that started it all. The chaos erupted following a highly publicized and physical game between the IndianaFever and the Chicago Sky. During the matchup, Sky player Dejanay Carrington was ejected for a flagrant 2 foul after making contact with Fever guard Sophie Cunningham around the head and neck area. In a situation like this, many fans would expect a head coach to immediately support her player, protect her team's physical safety, and send a clear message that dangerous contact should not be tolerated. But what did Coach Stephanie White do? She took a completely different approach. White, who had previously coached Carrington with the Connecticut Sun, defended her former player, stating that she did not oppose the hard foul.
Blitz today. And I knew she would. As soon as that came out of her mouth, I was like, oh, she's going to get destroyed. She thinks whatever backlash she's been seeing was an issue. She hadn't seen nothing yet. You're telling your paying customer to go to hell. And you can't try to backtrack this now. That's exactly what you did. You see, this team gets too, I've said this before, this team gets too much attention for her. Plain and simple. That's why I've said before you needed an NBA coach. Somebody that can handle all the scrutiny that's going to come with being the coach of Caitlin Clark. That it is what it is.
Let that sink in for a moment. The head coach watched her own player take a hard, flagrant shot near the neck, and her initial reaction appeared to validate the opponent's aggression. The internet immediately erupted, and the backlash came so quickly that White was forced into damage control. She later clarified that she had not seen the Carrington foul clearly in real time, and said she did not have the benefit of repeatedly watching the replay when she first made her comments. But fans were not convinced. The trust had already been damaged, and many viewed the situation as a serious leadership failure. Instead of simply taking accountability and guiding her team through the controversy, White escalated the situation further. During a pre-game press conference, she delivered an emotional statement addressing what she described as the hate, fear-mongering, and divisiveness surrounding her team. She strongly pushed back against criticism of her handling of the Sophie Cunningham controversy, repeatedly pounding the table, appearing visibly frustrated, and declining to take questions from reporters. Then came the comment that drew even more attention. White said that, while she would always lead with love, grace, and humility, her critics could go to hell. For many fans, that response only intensified the controversy. The league is currently experiencing significant commercial growth and increased media attention, fueled in part by an increasingly engaged fan base. So, how does the head coach of one of the league's most scrutinized franchises respond to mounting pressure? Instead of calming the situation, her emotional response has sparked even more debate and criticism.
In men's sports, that coach usually ends up getting his ass fired. Stephanie White could be on her way out. The fans appear to be done with her. We got to get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get right into things, man. We have to start right here. Okay, here it says, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White was booed by fans prior to a game following backlash over her comments defending Chicago Sky guard Dejanay Carrington after her flagrant 2 foul on Fever guard Sophie Cunningham. Now, we all saw what she had to say, and then she went on this whole tirade before the game, basically telling everybody to F off, go to hell. As a direct quote, she told everybody to go to hell, and the fans booed the hell out of her before the game. Yeah, you told everybody to go to hell, and the fans booed the hell out of you before the game started. This is courtesy of Alexa Philippou. Statement from Indiana Fever team president. The damn team president had to step.
When the reality of her controversial outburst set in, White tried to pivot toward an emotional appeal, emphasizing that she is only human and insisting that love would ultimately win. She also attempted to project strength, saying that the team remained united and connected and would not allow outside noise to divide them. But many fans were not convinced by the sudden change in tone. Critics describe her emotional display as a calculated public relations strategy designed to gain sympathy from the media and shift attention away from the controversy. Fans began demanding accountability rather than what they viewed as an emotional performance. The backlash quickly moved from social media to the arena itself. During the Fever's game against the New York Liberty, White was loudly booed by sections of her own home crowd, creating a tense atmosphere and signaling strong dissatisfaction with her leadership. Online, the debate became even more heated, with some fans calling for her immediate dismissal. Indiana's lieutenant governor also entered the conversation, publicly calling for White to be fired. What began as a basketball controversy had now developed into a much larger debate about leadership and the organization's direction. With fans expressing outrage, political figures weighing in, and the team's culture under intense scrutiny, many expected the front office to consider major action to protect the franchise's reputation. Instead, Fever leadership doubled down. Team president Kelly Krauskopf stepped into the spotlight and publicly supported the embattled coach. Krauskopf released a statement praising White for keeping the team focused and united under one of the brightest spotlights the league has ever seen. She also made it clear that Stephanie White continued to have the full support of the organization's leadership.
We would be demanding that folks speak up and put it where the goats can get it and get down to the bare bones about what's really going on here and not dancing around the issues. And what disgusts me, listening to so many of these ladies talk about the issues, you're smart, you're articulate, you're educated, you got facts, you got fervor and passion, you've got knowledge, you've got history backing you up. You got a whole bunch of things in your favor, along with the microphone and the lens to look into the camera and address it with the realness, the sincerity, and the passion and the fervor it deserves. And y'all dancing. There's one person I'm going to give credit for not dancing. And that's somebody I brought up earlier. That's Andrea Carter, my colleague at ESPN, who is sensational. Listen to what she had to say.
In reality, all of this emotion is coming from Steph White and what she said post-game about Dejanay, which she said it was a flagrant 2 foul, but she didn't think Dejanay was purposely going for her neck and that Dejanay is a player that plays hard. That's essentially what Steph White said. And people were going crazy, calling for her job because of that post-game statement. And, you know, I'm so interested in all those people that were piling on and calling for Steph White's job in this most recent week. How many Indiana Fever games have you actually watched? How many games have you actually paid attention to watch the team and what they're doing out on the court? Are you calling for Steph White's job because of who she is as a coach, or are you calling for her job because you watched one clip and you're piling on and you're fueled by hatred and you're finding a space to exercise something that's not related to basketball at all? And that's where we are right now in the W, and that's why it's so frustrating. You can't just talk about basketball. And I look forward to the day, like Steph White said, when this is a space where basketball fans come to pick apart the game and the performances and come to celebrate the talent that we have, and where people are judged based on their basketball thoughts and what happens on the court, and their character is not associated with those things. And we're just not.
Peace and butter. Hot peace and butter. You remember that game? Or should I say, high piece of butter, red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. You're getting closer and closer and closer because that's where Andrea Carter was going. She's getting warm.
This organizational decision is a major development. The front office is choosing to stand behind its head coach rather than simply responding to an angry fan base. They are drawing a clear line, backing a coach who recently told her critics to go to hell. The disconnect between the organization's leadership and some members of its fan base appears to be growing, with management making it clear that White continues to have their support despite the public relations controversy. Even superstar Caitlin Clark was drawn into the situation and appeared to take on a peacemaking role amid the tension. The generational talent reportedly spoke privately with White, reminding everyone that coaches are human, too, while attempting to help calm the situation and ease the growing conflict.
Logic in this league. Christine Brennan's on the money. I think you have a way out with this. I'm in agreement with Dre. I think this is the way out. But I don't think they'll do it because all we've watched this league do is get in its own way at every single turn. And at this point, I'm past looking for them to do the smart thing, the logical thing, what's best for business. I'm done looking for them to actually legitimize this league and not make it a pure clown show. I mean, Jason, we just had Sydney Colson, former Indiana Fever, talking about how they need to just go ahead and start their own black and queer league. I mean, what are we even talking about? It's a circus, man. They have no clue what they're doing. This thing is full of emotion and no logic, and that is the problem.
So, Maurice, and be quick but don't hurry here, because Steve, I got a question for you that I want to get to, and then I want to transition into a little Pat McAfee. But this rally last night and this blowout victory of the New York Liberty, and I thought the New York Liberty played poorly, seemed to be undermanned, but I'm sure Stephanie White and Kelly Krauskopf and Amber Cox, they're all sitting around. They're all rallying around Stephanie, and this is going to be great, and we're going to make a playoff run, and don't you see how together this has galvanized the team? Do you think it has? Do you think this is going to lead to a run into the WNBA finals?
No, I think if they make a run, it's going to be because Kelsey Mitchell can't miss a shot. She's the most efficient scoring guard in the league. Caitlin Clark is third in the league in scoring and first in the league in assists. If they make a run, it's going to be because of that explosive backcourt. It has nothing to do with galvanizing around Stephanie White. Kelsey Mitchell has a max contract. She's going to be looking to secure an offseason, a long-term deal. And obviously there's a lot for Caitlin Clark to prove. Sophie Cunningham's going to be looking to get paid once again. Their play last night was more about the fact that the New York Liberty, for whatever reason, they got rid of all their athleticism. They couldn't guard on the perimeter at all. And Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell couldn't miss a shot. This was not about Stephanie White.
Steve, I got one more WNBA type question before we transition. I want to play you this clip of Ryan Clark. And on the pivot, he's chiming in on the WNBA, and he's chiming in on Enes Kanter and Royce White, making the point, I think, that...
But can a few supportive words from a star player really erase the damage caused by a coach publicly clashing with the very fans who buy the tickets? The IndianaFever may be facing a serious challenge. It is difficult to maintain a profitable, high-functioning sports organization when the head coach is being booed in her own arena, while the front office continues to stand behind her despite growing criticism. The tension appears to be reaching a boiling point, and the team's public image could face increasing pressure if the controversy continues. So, what do you think? Will the front office continue protecting Stephanie White, or will growing fan pressure eventually force a change? Share your honest thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more high-stakes WNBA updates and analysis.